Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Seagulls Social. I'm your host Maz, and of course I'm joined by the boys Ryan and Ben. Looking cute, Ben, as always.
Lovely. How lovely.
How is everyone? How everyone buzzing that the lockdown's finally over?
The pubs are back, baby.
Ben's buzzing, mate.
Yeah, literally.
My hands are still cold from last night. It's unbelievable.
I was going to say it's a bit of a stupid
Baltic
question,
out there.
but have you been to the pub?
I have, and the selection of beers, my God, they were horrific. I went to a place called the Romans in Southwick because it's the only place that has shows of football outside. And it was like Carling, Foster's, Amstel or something else that was trash. But it's obviously Amstel's not too bad. So yeah, I mean, only on the Amstels. And it was absolutely Ramos, by the way. It's so rammed. And then there was... I got to 10 o'clock when a little fight broke out outside, and then this one random bloke stood up and went, "Who had 10 o'clock?" As if it was like a sweepstake for the first fight. Everyone started pissing themselves. Shout out the Romans, though. Cheers for the host.
Ryan, did you get up to anything? Did you get a haircut?
Mate, I get haircuts all the time anyway. We're both all right with haircuts.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Oh, mate, it was so funny. I saw these people actually messaging me yesterday, and they said they queued for 5 hours for a haircut. 5 hours. They got there at 8:45, and they didn't get their trim until like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 5.5 hours. Where the hell were they? Bloody Ritz.
Lancing, I think. But yeah,
there's no way there's a queue for 5.5 hours in Lancing.
Don't shoot the message.
There's not many people in Lancing, surely not.
Yeah. There's not enough people there for 5.5 hours.
Maz, when are you going to get your haircut, mate?
Hey, look, if anyone's
for the audio
YouTube,
listeners,
if anyone can see me right now, be careful because this. I nearly cut myself there.
Oh fuck!
A bit too sharp.
Right, anyway, anyway, that concludes the podcast.
Sharper than our strikers, that's for sure. Sharper than our strikers.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Enough of our waffle. Let's. I mean, there's not. To be fair, I'm about to say let's get into the game, but I mean, there wasn't really much to talk about. Yeah, it was a drab affair. Ryan, do you want to kick us off, mate? Talk through us.
Express yourself.
To be honest, mate, the first probably 20 minutes was just nothing really happened. Off the top of my head, anyway, I'm thinking I can't really think of anything that happened. Really, it was just all around the middle of the pitch, keeping the ball, not really doing anything. Everton did pretty similar, parked the bus, but to be fair, Everton had 11 players out or something. So, in reflection, right, I'm quite happy with a draw. Because it's a point on the board, but when we have 21 shots and it's an Everton side that is so depleted, you'd think surely we can get more out of this. You'd think, but it's not that simple.
I was just about to say that was going to be my biggest question to you two was, should we? I know obviously Everton are in terms of standings and probably in terms of structurally whatever they are the better team or the bigger team, right? But going into that game with them having 10 injuries or something, or key first team players out. I know Alan was out, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, X, Y, and Z. There's a few others as well.
Good song.
Is that the game? Is that the game we should really be winning at home, or is that a good draw? A good result against a relatively decent Everton side.
You could argue both.
I'll say that the last episode I said that I would have been happy with the draw. I said if we play well, the draw will be a good result, and we got a draw. It just so happens that we played better than Everton, who didn't really turn up until the 90th minute, realistically. And we probably deserved a win, but didn't do enough in front of goal to warrant getting a goal. Our XG was only 1.16, wasn't it? Which was
21 shots, but we didn't really do anything threatening. At no point would you have thought we were going to score. 15
chances, but 2 or 3 were proper clear-cut chances. 2 max, maybe.
And Mopé had a shocker. I always back Mopé, but he was pretty poor yesterday, to be honest. I think that goes without saying, but he was getting a ridiculous amount of abuse from everyone. It's so annoying. But I must admit, though, I thought the rest of the team, defence, midfield, were very good. I thought, Bissouma, Lallana, even Veltman, White, Dunk. I thought
that centre mid
so strong.
That centre mid partnership, unbelievable. Tell you what's even more unbelievable, our double substitution, probably the worst double substitution in Premier League history, bringing on Dan Burn and Ali J at the same time. That is...
Listen.
What on earth is that substitution?
We're not having any Ali J. We're not having... respect Ali J, first of all. Up the team Iran. And second of all, don't disrespect the boy like that, all right? No, all joking aside.
That is mental. That was laughable.
He's not going to score, is he?
Yeah, but my only defence to Potter would be that it was not enough time for them to have a negative impact. So like, it didn't give them enough time to be shit. Do you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Like, why bring him on? Why bring Ali Reza on for for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like people were saying, right?
criticised...
This is go on.
No, I was just quickly about to say, we've criticised Potter's subs a few times in the past, but I think that was probably the worst he's done in sense of like the timing was really weird, and also the players he brought on was strange as well. But anyway, yeah, go on, Ryan. What were you going to say?
Well, I was saying about the changes, and Liam called me out and had a little punt at me last night, but he sent me a nice apology this morning, and I was thinking,
that's not like Liam. That's not like
Liam, you better come back and apologise for this. But no, he was just basically saying, because I said about Burn, he doesn't like Burn slander. He's a big Burn fan somehow. But I was just saying about
reason.
I was saying about the subs, and I was saying, I'd have liked the subs to be brought on sooner, and I know people would say, and I completely agree, the problem wasn't creating chances because we were creating a lot of chances. We had 20 odd shots, etc. Yeah. So that wasn't the point I was making. The point I was making was we're not scoring them, so we need someone to come on and score them, right? We need a change in that aspect, not because we're not creating anything. The game plan's going fine, midfield's doing well, defence is doing well. But we ain't scoring. I mean, we don't really look like scoring. All the time, Mope, Welbeck and Trossard were going forward. It just wasn't working. Nothing was working. Although, in fairness to Welbeck, he's probably the better out of the three. But, I would say the changes need to be there. Yes, we brought on Ali. Burn, I think I see the point of, putting him in left wing back or wherever we sort of put him in the end, and then going to a back four so that Gross could come out of right wing back to create more and put Veltman in right wing back or right back. But I still personally would have preferred it if we brought on two attackers to actually be in front of goal. Because as I say, it's so late on in the game. The chance of Everton doing anything is so remote because they ain't done anything anyway. So I'd rather we lost 1-0 committing than, ending up with, well, say that, it's still a point, isn't it?
It's a good point.
It's definitely a good point, 100%. Like, I think
it's
the
point on the table, not what Ryan's making. I'm joking.
Shut up. Right.
Everton defended very well, and like we've got to give credit to them. They played 4 centre backs, which is something Potter used to do. So like Carlo Ancelotti's obviously learning off Potter now, isn't he? Only a few months behind when we used to play 7 defenders in one game. But yeah, we've got to give them credit. They defended really well. They had so many men behind the ball. It was tough for them to get a clear shot on target. Whenever we did have a shot on target, it was blocked and went out for a corner. Just shows how many people that like defenders they had in the 6-yard box. Blocking, doing their job.
Just going back to the subs just quickly. I think my only sort of maybe sort of defence of Potter, and maybe what I can only think of is like Burn and definitely Ali J. He puts in work rate, doesn't he? Like he's always running. He might not be
so does Burn,
gifted
to be fair to him.
as other people, and Burn as well. Exactly. So my only sort of thinking is like, right, he's thinking, 88th minute, we got maybe 5, 2 minutes plus added time, 5 minutes altogether. He just wants to see out the game, get the draw, and he sees it as a good point, and which I sort of understand. But then at the same time, I get what Ryan's saying as well. On the flip side, it's like, right, we've got 5 minutes to go. Can we nick a winner? Can we get those 3 points, especially at home? So
like we done against them at home last season, which, to be fair to Dan Burn, he was heavily involved in. Like that last minute goal, he was heavily involved in that. And I think it was like
their own goal, wasn't it? Digne.
Yeah,
Digne.
But like 3 balls to Trossard. Then he was heavily involved in that goal. But I still think just like the two players, like Ryan said, I agree. Like we should have been, instead of maybe Ali J bring him on and bring on another forward, like Jose Izquierdo, maybe could have given him his chance. He would have had a little run around. We had Sakira in the bench as well. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe bring on 2 attackers. He doesn't really tend to bring off Mope too much unless he's bringing Aaron Connolly on instead.
Was Connolly in the team actually?
No, he's still banned, isn't he? Or there's the whole thing.
Is he banned? We don't actually know.
Yeah, he's got like a few games banned because of all of the stuff that's going on.
All the stuff that's going on. Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, we are allowed to talk about it. We're not part of the club, are we? So like,
yeah, true. Actually, that guy.
Rumours of him getting like hookers back at his place. Rumours of him like smashing up his house, basically, and like partying. We know about the facts are that the COVID parties have happened. Like there's like 3 parties in the space of 2 weeks, or 5 parties in the space of 2 weeks.
Class.
And that's obviously where he's actually got a ban for that, which is stupid in itself.
So just to clarify, this is all what we've just read up. We don't know this for sure, and we just basically see what we read up on Twitter.
Sure.
Yeah, the parties are definitely sure.
Everyone's
but then
DMs.
I think it was a Palace fan, wasn't it? Yeah.
and
And there was a
the
Palace
DM,
fan, didn't he? He tweeted, didn't he? A Palace fan tweeted like all these things that he apparently smashed his smashed his house up with golf clubs or something, or golf balls.
Or golf balls,
Yeah, partook in some illegal substances. But again, this is all just some guy basically on Twitter's made these.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's true or not. We can only
normally
speculate,
wouldn't believe like a tweet, especially from a Palace fan, but like the stuff he was saying, and he kept like replying to loads of comments being like, "Oh, and this and this and this." And, like,
I DM'd him.
He seemed pretty serious. It wasn't as if like he was kind of joking about it.
I DM'd
he said he's going to
him,
try
and
and
I
like
just
note his source.
He just said people think I'm lying. He said, but I don't care. He just said it just finds it really strange, and that apparently there's a lot more. He said that his barber's his next door neighbour, and he said he just looks out the window and sees.
I was about to ask, what's his link? I was about to ask, what's this
barber,
guy's?
So his barber's the next door neighbour, and he sees him on his window. Yeah, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what he says.
But like in the DMs, you think he'd be like laughing at you, Ryan, and be like, I can't believe I fooled all of your fans. Stuff like that. He's still going along with it. Which,
and he followed me. So just for the
maybe I'm being naive, but
I mean, I personally, I don't believe half the stuff he's written. I do believe like the house parties and the other stuff he's done in his personal life with regards to the females, but I'm not too sure about the other stuff, just because of like. I mean, I've definitely seen him, getting involved with all that sort of stuff. But I just feel like some of the other stuff, like for example, with the drug taking, that kind of stuff, it's like they surely must get tested quite a bit. So it's like, it would come out quite soon.
I've heard it's pretty sporadic, and when they do have a test, they get told about it, so they're allowed to.
Oh, really?
They have like a few weeks to prepare for it, basically. And you remember like Rio Ferdinand back in the day when he was at Leeds or West Ham? No, he was at United, wasn't he?
No, he was at United. Yeah, he got suspended.
Because he failed to turn up to it. Because he refused to turn up to his test, and they get told about it. Because obviously, let's not get it twisted. Like our football players go out a lot and do illegal things, but they know when they can't do it when they've got a test coming up.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't know for sure until something. Like I said, we know a few things for sure, but the other stuff it's all just speculation and sort of hearsay. So until it gets confirmed, I mean, we don't know. But we can talk about him, like what we think of his thoughts of him sort of going in or out. I remember we had a group chat, didn't we? We got a group chat like with quite a few Brighton fans, and a lot were saying they want him out. Let's start with you, Ryan. Are you sort of Connolly in or Connolly out?
The silence.
The silence is deafening.
I'm so on the fence every time I come on the podcast with Connolly. I'm sorry, get him out, please. He just seems so much of a liability, and this is nothing. I don't know the guy, but just too much of a liability for me. There's too many things. Yeah. There's too many rumours
on and off the pitch?
From too many different people for anything to not be true. You can't have this many bad news stories from so many different people with so many different times. Like, this has come from
saying there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah, there's no smoke.
Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this hasn't just happened. It's not like this has just happened this season. I mean, I'm talking about things that have happened last year before that. Even when he was in the academy, I still remember stories coming out. So, like there's going to be. Yeah. I just think he's a liability, and I think the trouble. Sorry, I think the trouble with him is if you've got a player with that sort of attitude, he's 21 now, so he's a year older than me. He's not going to change. He ain't going to change. He's just going to stay in that way, and he's got rich too quick at too young. In my opinion, I mean, what do I know? But that's what I'd say. And okay, he's splashed it.
Ravel Morrison
enjoyed himself. He's enjoyed himself, which is
fine. He's nowhere near as good as Ravel, though. Ravel's
no. I mean, off the pitch antics, not actually.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's enjoyed himself, which I don't have a problem with. Of course, you should enjoy yourself, but at the same time, focus on your footy. That's what you're there to do. It's what you're getting paid to do. You're not getting paid to
at the end of the day,
mess around.
It's a job. Like if we, I don't know, but obviously we all have different jobs. But like if we didn't turn up or didn't do what we're paid to do, then we would get sacked like straight away without hesitation, and we're not getting paid a shitload of money a week. Or a month, like they are. So like,
it's not like Connolly makes up for it in ability either. It's not like it's not like we're being. It's all right because he still scores 5 goals or he still scores 10 goals. He doesn't because he's not very good on the pitch either. So if he was making up for it, I'd say okay, fair enough. Have the arrogance, like a Vardy, someone to rattle everyone and be a bit like that. But Vardy makes up for it with 30 goals, 20 goals. Connolly ain't going to do that anytime soon unless he's in League One.
100%.
So I'd say just
2 goals that he scored against Spurs. It'll be such a different story. Like his I don't know. He'll probably be out on loan somewhere else. Like There'll be no chance
Yeah.
he'd be, like I say it every week, wearing
That's
number
what.
7.
That's what I think. That's what I think he needs. I think he needs a loan out. Maybe humble himself a little bit. Go out to a League One side. Maybe get him. Just get him.
I think he'd be
scoring
lucky
goals.
to get a loan out.
Get
To be
him-
honest, I think he'd be lucky to get a loan out.
Yeah.
Because the way I view it is,
Picture-
look at how we got rid of Knockout. Look how we got rid of Duffy. The drinkers of the
And
club.
Andone as well.
Andone.
Yeah.
If they get kicked for that, Aaron Connolly's done worse than that by the sounds. So, I'm going off rumours again. None of this could be true. But if it is, or even if it's got any sort of substance, there's been lots of things I've been told that could be true.
Yeah.
I'm
Too much
surprised that Potter
reliability for
still
me.
puts up with him. Like, I'm really surprised Potter still puts up with him.
Does he though? This is what I was saying. This is what
Potter's a really
someone said
smart
to
guy.
me. Yeah, but this is what someone said to me. They said, "Oh yeah, but Potter's putting up with him and stuff." But I was thinking, but is he? Because in the last few weeks, in the last probably 4 or 5 weeks, Connolly's been dropped for. I think he had a back thing or a back spasm. Then he had a broken
and then a
rib.
back spasm, yeah.
Yeah, then he had a toe problem, and then he had I think it was a bruised toe, and then he got injured out in Ireland for something. And, there's too many little excuses here to me for it to be just that. I think now we're at a point where I think either Potter's in the light or, I think Ashworth as well probably has a bit of a say in it. I mean, again, what do I know? But going off impressions,
we can see it from the outside. You can tell, like when you get those fun training pics on a Wednesday or whatever midweek. We don't really see Connolly there. And like you said, like all these little injuries that keep popping up. Maybe he is bad and they're obviously covering up with these silly little injuries.
It's all a bit coincidental. I like you boys are saying. It's like there's a lot of things sort of happening alongside these rumours. Then the injuries as well next side. So it does sort of make sense a little bit that it could be sort of a bit of a cover up. But we could be playing conspiracy theorists. We don't actually know for sure.
Yeah,
but
of course.
There's a lot of sort of talk around it. And if it comes out and they say right, all this stuff happened, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised one bit.
No,
I'd be like, he seems like he's got a bit of an attitude problem. But in all saying that, I would like him to realise his potential because I think he's got a lot of potential. And then that's why I'd advocate a move. I think he does. I think he does have
potential.
He's got something about him,
don't
but
see it.
his attitude stinks. His attitude does stink. Like,
Maybe that gets
you
in the
can
way
just
for me
tell.
then.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
no,
what it is.
there's no denying it. He's a big time bollocks. Like he thinks he's so class and like he's got that aura about him. And you mentioned about the whole thing. It's like if you're a Diego Costa or Jamie Vardy, you can do it because you back it up with your footballing ability. But he's not doing that. He's just not doing it at the moment. And
I think
he's missing
with
one-on-ones and stuff like that.
like Ibra and that, you have the big personas. Like the thing is with Ibra, as you say, one, he backs it up, but two, I think he's just an act in front of the cameras. Like he's just doing it because he knows he's going to wind people
it's a
up,
bit
and
of
he knows he's
banter,
going to get under.
Yeah.
Whereas Connolly's doing it not on the cameras; he's doing it behind the scenes. That's a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
So
No, that's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
No. Well, there you go. That's what our thoughts are on a thing. But yeah, so wait, just quickly actually, Ben, are you in or out? Like, would you like to see him out on loan, or because we sort of went off the tangent? I know Ryan basically wants him out.
Yeah. I agree with you. I see potential in him, and I'd like to see him on loan first. And obviously, if he fails on loan and like maybe doesn't bother trying on loan, then I think just call it
Fair
quits.
point.
Yeah. Get rid
It'll
of
be
him.
silly. It'll be silly sell him straight
out.
away. But let's humble him a bit. Hopefully, he will do well on loan. Whether
Put
this
him in
happens.
League
That's
Two,
the thing. I think if you can't humble him, give him a chance to humble himself. If he doesn't, then just like get out. Just go.
Mate, let him go to
Hopefully
Crawley
he'll be
Ground.
like a
That'll
good
humble him.
manager.
That'll really humble him.
Go Crawley or White Hawk. Send him to White Hawk on loan. That'd be class.
Who's Neil Warnock manager at the moment? He's still Borough manager.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, let's send him to Middlesbrough. Get Grant Hall to sort him out, Maz, and just get Neil Warnock to really drill it in him. Like, listen here, you little prick, you fucking turn up to training, you bastard.
That's pretty.
I mean,
what
if there's one manager. If there's one manager, to be fair, you'd back Warnock. To be fair,
Aaron's like, I want the number 7. Fuck off, you twat.
Number 57, mate.
Yeah, number 57 if you're lucky, you prick.
So just going back to the game then, boys, just quickly, just on the Bissouma. Yeah, the Bissouma bicycle kick. That could have been a push-cash.
Oh, mate, that would have been goal of the century.
The absolute... Yeah, that was unbelievable, to be fair to him. But, I mean, it
insane.
didn't go in, so sort of ended that one. But it would have been nice.
Such a Brighton thing to say.
Yeah.
It would have been so nice, but it wasn't.
It would have been such a good goal, yeah. But it didn't go anywhere near the goal. So, unlucky lads.
I think overhead kicks at the Amex are only for Ali Reza Hambash, let's be honest. That's his...
Yeah, we've reserved that for the Iranian
No one else
god.
can do it. Yeah,
Mate, the thing is, if that Bissouma one went in though, that would have topped it by far. Like, in terms of the complexity of it.
Imagine
like
in off the crossbar and that top right,
stuff.
top left corner.
That would have been sick. But on the topic of Bissouma, then, boys. So we've had actually a question on Bissouma. So, well, we've had a few actually because he's obviously a big talking point.
A lot of it was
so,
this.
Yeah. So we've had a 2 or 3. So one of them just said, Matt Avery 11 said, "How fucking amazing is Bissouma?" Of course, we all know that. I think the stats yesterday sort of spoke. spoke for itself. I think he was like the number 1 in interceptions, like tackles. I think he basically just donned. He's the best player on the pitch, probably, arguably.
Yeah.
So Ben Herbert 7 asks, and we'll start with you, Ben.
This question, Ben Herbert. Great
which
name
club would you like? Which club would
Is that right?
we like to see this go to? Yeah, I can't even get my words out. Go on, Ben, you kick us off. Where would you like to see him go? I mean, would you like to see him go, first of all, let alone to what club?
Absolutely not, but I would like to see him go if he had to go somewhere. Let's say if it wasn't City, because maybe they're probably not, they've obviously got unbelievable midfielders as it is, they don't need him. I would like to see him go to Leicester.
Leicester?
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he'd do well there. I can imagine Tielemans will probably be leaving soon because he's an absolute baller. I just think Leicester would be a really good one. I would hate for him to go in Arsenal and just be really bang average and get booed at by Arsenal fans TV all the time.
True.
Yeah, him and Xhaka just getting absolutely booed every game.
Xhaka's Biss. Although Partey and Bissouma in the midfield, that would be naughty, wouldn't it? But although Leicester for me, lads.
Ryan?
Mate, well, as I say, I don't want him to go. I think if it was for me, I'd say Liverpool, because he's been linked with Liverpool a lot. And
are they interested?
I think, I've seen he's been linked a lot. But I spoke to someone, one of my friends who's
every top
Liverpool fan. Club. Yeah, one of my mates is a Liverpool fan. I think False Firmino Matt on Twitter said he wants him. But he's got
Twitter.
He used to be a football Twitter account, and I think now he's like, fair play to him, he's got like 50k followers or something. But I think with Bissouma, I don't know, I'd like him to go to like a Liverpool, be under Klopp. I think he's better than like Keita, and Wijnaldum's obviously leaving, so I think he would slot in there quite nicely. Similar sort of player to what they need as well. Him and Fabinho, if they're working together, could be quality.
Yeah.
And I want to see him succeed at a top club. You know, Liverpool fans are renowned for getting behind their players as well, so he'd get good treatment there, even if he's not as good as he might need to be. He'd still get good treatment. So we'll see.
Well, yeah,
interesting. So Leicester and Liverpool.
I don't know. I didn't think really Liverpool would be in the options because I thought it was pretty much like between like Leicester and Arsenal, let's say, and Everton. But if I had to pick, maybe Leicester are linked as well, but I didn't know Liverpool linked, so
Yeah, there you go.
But I'd probably say Liverpool over Leicester. But what about you, Maz?
Well, see, I mean, again, just to echo what you guys said, I don't want him to go at all. But if like stylistically, where I think he'd suit, if I had to pick somewhere, I don't know. It's a tough one. I think I could see him being. So me personally, I don't think he's a top 4. I don't think he should be in top 4. I just don't think.
You don't think he should be top 4? No way. Agree with that. No chance.
I still think he needs another season. I think he still needs another season.
No way.
I think he's been very good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's been very good. But I just don't think he's like, okay, maybe not top 4, maybe Man City. I don't think he's good enough for Man City.
He wouldn't look out of place.
I don't think he'll get in that team.
He wouldn't look out of place. He really wouldn't. Even playing under Pep's style, one, it's not much different to what he plays at Brighton. 2, think about who he's got around him. He's got Lallana and Gross.
None of us would look out of place at Man City. They would make any player look
decent. That is true.
But they go through their midfield, so they'd need a Bissouma because that's where they focus their play on. Their holding mid. I think Bissouma would do. I think he wouldn't look out of place in nearly any team really in that top level because he deserves to go play in the Champions League. I think he should be a Champions League footballer or at least top 4 in the Premier League footballer in next season because he deserves it. I genuinely believe that, and I'd stand by that. Under anything because he hasn't really put a foot wrong this season. But he had a little dip in form. That's it.
See, this is what I was going to say. Like for me personally, that was going to be my next point. Is the consistency. That's the thing for me. It's like he hasn't proven it long enough at the top level, like playing
Disagree.
week in week out consistently. Like you've seen dips in form. Like even this season, he had those 3 or 4 games before. Was it not last game, but the game before? Where he had like 3 or 4 games where he just went missing and he just wasn't.
Yeah.
He was literally.
Yeah, but every player's going to have that at some point. I mean, that's just how football is. That's how
of
players
course.
are.
No. I get
look
that.
at Pogba.
I
Pogba's-
completely agree. But what I'm saying is, though, to be at that elite level, if you're going to play for Man City, you can't go missing for 3, 4, 5 games. Like Pep wouldn't allow it, would he? Like he wouldn't have that in his team. So that's for me. Maybe not top 4, but I think to Man City, he's not that level. Like he's not a Man City player yet. But definitely, like, what would you say, Man United? He'd definitely get into that team because
Man United.
Yeah, but then you say that, but then you look at any of those teams in that top 4. I mean, I'm going to include Liverpool in the top 4 here. If Liverpool, he gets in their team. Man United, he gets in their team. Man City, you could even argue he gets in their team. I mean, apart from they've got Rodri, who's very hit and miss.
Rodri edges it.
No, he's very hit and miss as well, isn't he?
No,
Does he?
I think he bosses them. Then they've got Fernandinho. I think Fernandinho's on his way out.
Fernandinho's
I would
quality.
love to see him at City. I think he would be
I've
unbelievable
lost
for City
you.
and Pep. I really do. Especially with Fernandinho retiring soon, potentially, or leaving soon, because he's getting on a bit.
But yeah, just to answer the question anyway, just to wrap up, just to answer the question, I was actually going to go with Spurs just to see him in Ndombele. Imagine Ndombele and Bissouma in the middle. That would be like hella techie.
I don't want any players going to Spurs. Did you see Laura Woods absolutely tear apart Jamie O'Hara earlier?
Yeah, on TalkSport.
Yeah, because he was basically right. I don't know if you saw it. He was saying about how Jesse Lingard should go to Spurs over Arsenal, and Laura Woods just completely destroyed him. She was like, Jamie, you've just been saying how bad Spurs are. Why would you want to go to a club where the fans don't enjoy watching you play? The manager's got a really poor style of play. What was the other stuff? Your best player's going to leave. Like, and yeah,
why do you want to go to Spurs?
Jamie O'Hara was like,
yeah,
he was like,
no way.
Jamie O'Hara was saying Jesse Lingard should go to Spurs for their rebuild.
No chance.
Wait,
No
are
way.
we choosing like based on like what we want to see or where we think he'll fit?
Oh, I thought it was realistic. I just thought it was like,
okay.
I've seen Arsenal and Leicester.
Okay,
link, but-
I simply just said Spurs just because I think him and Ndombele.
Oh, you said Spurs.
To watch.
I
Like,
didn't see.
Yeah, just to be able to, like, just for that little link up.
Nah, they'd kill him there.
Sick to watch, like.
He would.
Yeah, no, they
killed
would.
Mourinho.
Under Mourinho,
They'd absolutely murder
yeah, under
him.
Mourinho, they definitely would. Yeah, no, that.
It'd be.
Have you seen
Yeah,
their link with their link with Sarri, aren't they? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that as well. Apparently, there's no truth to it though. I saw like one of the Spurs sort of like big accounts, like one of the big fan accounts. Yeah, like
just offer him some cigarettes. He'll probably take it.
Massive rumours.
Yeah, the picture they used was him smoking. I think someone might have even been.
He's the biggest mess of a manager I've ever seen.
He's going to need like 300 packs of cigarettes per week to get through.
Yeah, to get through that.
He's such a mess. I've never seen a manager turn up to a Premier League football match in such a. He just looked like your local guy down the pub who's literally just smokes 20 a day. He doesn't look like a manager.
I've got a funny little story about.
He was
decent
about
Sarri. I got a few mates
that
that work for Chelsea, just like through work and that. And basically, when he was there, they had to build like his own little office outside of the stadium because the smoke was just pogging out the whole stadium, like all the rooms in there. So they had to build him like his very own shed of his little office outside of the stadium.
Oh,
he had to go to stay. Yeah, he's constantly
Mad
smoking apparently.
Really? To be fair, you can see that on him, as I say. Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah. He just reeks of a 20-pack. Right, and
back to the game again.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah, so that was the first bullet point with Bissouma. Mopé block for corner. When I was in the pub, I thought it was a handball. You know, like Trossard cut back, Mopé shot, and then it went wide for a corner. When they showed the replay, I don't know if you guys saw it.
It did hit his hand. It did hit his hand, but under the rules, it's basically it was never going to be a penalty just because of the rules of.
They never showed any replays of it, and all my mates were like, "I swear you're seeing."
Yeah, I think the commentator said that they checked it, but it was not given. Yeah,
did they?
Yeah,
I didn't actually see that. I've got to be honest.
There was no sound at the pub. It was so peak, so I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I think it was Mason. Is it Holgate? Mason Holgate, I think it was.
Oh, really? I didn't see it.
It might have been me now, actually. Yeah. El racismo from me. But yeah, there you go. Basically, boys, just to summarise the game, because there's not really much else to talk about apart from Iwobi's sort of last minute chance to.
Oh
to score.
God, that was so annoying. Sky going on about that Iwobi chance, like saying, "Oh yeah, that could have been a goal."
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers for that, Sky. Yeah, I wonder what the other 21 shots we had were then. Like, oh my God, they're so annoying, mate.
they're
I could
so
actually rant about
biased.
Sky so
Yeah.
much. It's so annoying. Like, I'd actually lose my head talking
Yeah,
about
they're so
Sky. They
biased.
just wind me up so much. Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm going red
But
already.
yeah, I mean they could have scored, but they didn't. So that's
Funnily
that.
enough, our player of the match or the man of the match was the guy that lost the ball as well. Coleman bodied Bissouma off the ball and then a little dancing run from Iwobi.
Yeah,
My heart
so
actually
good,
sank as soon as he released that. I thought it was going top bins. I was like, "Fucking hell, it's not going to end well."
Yeah, imagine that another last minute heartbreak would have killed us.
Speaking of this,
thankfully, I think it was a good
most
point.
tackles in the PL this season, 2 ahead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's decent. No, mate, his numbers are second to none. Like he is a top quality player. I just feel like
He's Champions League quality.
I don't want him basically to turn out to be like one of those players that gets signed for loads of money and then just becomes bang average. Like I don't know who to.
I think the thing is though, because he's at that age now, he's 24, 25, so he'll be wanting, because when you get into sort of 24, 25, if you're then looking at signing for another team next season that isn't quite that level, you're then 25, 26, 27, then you start clocking on towards your prime. And before that, you want to be at a top club where you're going to be learning the most in your career before you get to your prime. So, in my opinion, he needs to be at a Champions League club ASAP so that he can learn that top level at that age. So that when he gets to his prime, he can be as good as he can be. Whether he makes his ceiling that I think he can reach, because I think under Klopp, as I say, I think Klopp would get the best out of him personally. Unless you're talking about Pep, he could get the best out of him, but. As you say, maybe the one club that he wouldn't get into.
Yeah.
But I think he could get in any club in this English football league. I think, without a doubt.
I just want to clarify as well before people come at me after this podcast gets released. I just want to clarify. I think he's what Ryan was saying about like his ceiling and stuff. He is like, for me, he is going to go to the top 100%. My only question mark is right now is his consistency, and I actually retract my earlier comment about the top 4. I think apart from Man City, he will get into any team in the Premier League, but I just don't feel like he's at that level just yet. But he will get to there. It's just for me, not right now. Just had to clarify that before I get.
Let's not forget, it's not like he's been doing this for a few seasons now. I mean, I think at max you could say he's been doing well. It's probably like a season and a half. Of this is
2 years
playing
pretty
consistently. Much. He's been playing consistently, isn't he?
But then you could say that about Haaland. You could say that about Mbappe at the time. He wasn't playing at that level for long. He just went straight to PSG, and Haaland went straight to Dortmund. I'm not comparing him on ability-wise, but I'm comparing them.
It's easy to judge the striker because they've scored goals, isn't it? Though
score goals,
for sure.
But
for me,
stats,
I think
I was reading it earlier. Bissouma's stats this season are madness. Like I think he leads a lot of the stats for midfielders with regards to. So yesterday, I think he had most tackles, most passes, passing accuracy was top, and in the Premier League as well. I think he's up there with like the top players in the league. So yeah, I mean he's a class player, and there's not really much more we can say about him really, apart from he's a fucking geezer, and I want him to stay, but I just don't think he's going to do it.
I want you to stay.
But yeah, just to summarise them, boys. Summarise the Everton game quickly from me. I think it's a good point. 1 point to remain positive. Point, 1 point towards safety. 1 point towards safety against an Everton side that are up there in the league. I know obviously they had a lot of injuries last night, and we could have maybe nicked it with the amount of chances we had and the amount of shots we had. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll take a point against Everton all day long. And like I said, it's a point towards safety. Anything to add, boys? Anything to?
Yeah, 7 points clear of Fulham. I think someone posted on Facebook, which was quite interesting. They were saying Fulham have got to win 3 from 6. Obviously, to be able to just catch us and then draw, right? Is that the maths I'm doing properly? So
don't ask me about maths, mate.
No, wait, no.
Wait, what are you talking about? So if they win 3 games, they'll be 9 points.
Algebraic equation of this.
We can't. If we need to start dropping points as well, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. I think that's what you're saying as well. And then obviously, West Brom shocked us all. They're only 8 points off us now. Is that right?
You say only? That's quite a big gap considering
Still
we've only got
they just beat Chelsea and they just beat Southampton and they scored 7 goals in the process for them like that.
But we've got to lose all our games. Like we got to also be really shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
really
not
shit.
saying
I'm
that.
saying
I'm
it
not saying
right
that we
now.
are going
I'm saying
down.
it right now.
It
We
will
are not
be.
getting relegated. We will not be relegated.
I'm-
We will be playing
yeah,
Premier
no
League football
chance.
next season. Clip it, film it, whatever you want. We're playing Premier
Write
League
it
football
down,
next
mate.
season.
This will be in the
Do
team.
it. I don't care. We're playing Premier League football next season.
No, 100%. Yeah,
Simple as that.
I'm with Ryan on this one. Simples.
Oh, that's
right,
going to
boys,
come back and
so
bite me.
Yeah. Before we get into the Chelsea preview, let's we put some topics out to Instagram and Twitter for people just to give us questions. So Ryan, if you want to just kick us off with one of the questions that we already haven't gone through.
Let's have a little look.
And then we're gonna basically because it was a bit of a shit game to be honest. We thought we'd ask people on Twitter and Instagram any kind of topics they wanted us to discuss.
Oh, I like this one already.
Etc.
Houghton football finishing mid-table or Potable fighting relegation.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I won't answer it
Always
first
very
because
good.
obviously it's the one I'm asking. So I'll just go Maz and then Ben and I'll answer. So Maz,
Shout out Joel Bird for the question, though.
yeah, shout out Joel Bird
Now this-
underscore
this-
Joel Bird. Baller.
Underscore Joel Bird. So thank you for the question. Great question. And actually one I was trying to think of before coming on and talking about it because I was like, this is actually a really tough one. And of course, right. So if I'm talking like from my brain, right. If you're talking from like logically, of course you want to be say you don't want to worry about relegation. Of course you don't. That goes without saying. If someone gave me the option, like, right, you're going to stay in the Premier League, but the fact that you're playing shit football does make me feel like, well, what's the point? If you're not aiming towards like to winning games and playing attractive football, what is the point, really? Like, you're just there to make up the numbers kind of thing. So, basically, to answer Joel's Bird question is, I don't know, but at the moment, I'll take Potable. Just for aesthetically, to actually enjoy the football we're watching, at least. Well, to an extent, anyway. Ben? Oh, Ben's,
sorry, I was muted.
time
I would stick with Potable simply just because it's more entertaining to watch. And the point I was going to try and make is if you're thinking it from a money perspective, and you might say, some people might argue, well, if we finish mid-table all the time, we'll earn more money per season. But I don't really think it's that much difference in money.
Yeah.
Between the
100%.
places. We're probably talking a few million for, let's say, finishing 10th between finishing 16th like we did a couple of seasons ago or whatever. So
yeah, it's not
don't know.
huge. It's not huge.
yeah, it's not a huge difference. It's not like we're making an extra 20 million just for finishing a few places higher. So I would say I would stick with Potable, just simply because it's more entertaining. Unlike this guy who tweeted, was it Curtis Woodland, who's a manager for some non-league team? Did you see him slating Brighton in it?
Oh, yeah. Is that the one I replied to? Is that the one I
Yeah.
replied to?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he was basically saying Brighton are the most boring team to watch, like the worst Premier League team to watch. We just pass it around the back and pass it back to the keeper and pass it sideways.
Yeah,
and obviously then everyone's telling you how much of how much of an idiot he is, because how do you create 21? How do you have 21 attempts on goal, or whatever, when you just pass it around the back? Like, where's the?
I just put, I take you don't watch much of us then. That's all I put. 44 likes.
Yeah.
Take that stat
cheers.
pad.
Ratio. Take that
But
ratio.
Ryan, have you said Houghton or Potter?
No, I haven't said, mate. To be fair, I haven't actually looked at any of these
Go on, say
questions
it then,
before.
mate.
So these are all off the top of my head, all right? I haven't planned any of this out. I haven't looked at any of the questions. But for me personally, just looking straight at it, I'm saying Potable fighting relegation. Now, the reason I'm saying it is obviously it's more aesthetically pleasing. But at the same time, looking long term, he didn't say how long this time, Joel, mate. You didn't tell me how long this is going to last. This could be a season. This could be
He's trying to
6 months.
loophole. Ryan's trying to loophole.
It's just indefinitely, mate. It's just for the rest of your.
Who cares about? No,
godforsaken life.
he didn't say indefinitely, did he? So my point is, following season, right?
You got to watch
following
Houghton or
season.
Potter for the rest of your life, mate.
Houghton or Potter for the rest of my life. I'm still saying Potter because it's a bit more entertaining. If we're completely excluding anything in terms of monetary gain, but I think at the same time with Potable, yes, you attract better players. And you're also looking at, in the long term, you're always going to think, you've got a chance of taking on any team. You always got a chance of progressing as well. Whereas with Houghton, you also get that bad reputation across the Prem. I remember when we were in the Premier League, under Houghton, we were being done by all of the fans saying we're anti-football. And I remember it all the time being told we're anti-football, because the game that sticks on my mind is against Tottenham away. And Ericsson scored that goal, like last minute. And we basically parked the bus for 88 minutes. Do you remember? Yeah,
The long range.
We basically,
I remember that.
we basically parked the bus for 88 minutes. We had 2 minutes left, and then they scored. And everyone was saying, "Hope Brighton get relegated. Hope Brighton get relegated." So
I think that
yeah,
point,
I'd rather not
that
have that
point there was
reputation.
going to keep us mathematically safe as well, if I'm right. If I might have thinking.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Actual,
You might be right. Yeah. So yeah,
that was
aesthetically
a tough-
pleasing.
I remember that game.
And
That
just
was-
more reputation, a bit more respect from fans. Well, not that we have much, but it's just nicer to have a bit of respect than none. So yeah.
No, 100%. And just quickly to elaborate on Ben's point as well about the whole difference in position, I think to quote Josh, the Leeds fan that we had on before, he basically, and he makes a good point to be fair. He's like, unless you're getting top, so basically from
Josh
top
made a good
4
point.
to
You're
relegation. Right. Yeah, which is strange. But like from top 4 down to relegation spot, anything in between that, really, it's like it's redundant. Really, it's like what. It doesn't matter where you finish in those spaces, really, to be honest, which I sort of agree with. It's like, yeah, who cares? As long as you're in, you're not in the relegation zone and you're pushing towards top 4, that's really what, clubs are sort of striving for. So, yeah, I mean, I'll definitely go Potter all day long for that one. But yeah, great question, Joel. Great question. Ben, do you want to kick us off with the next one?
Oh, of course, Maz. Yeah. So, I'm going to do 2 because this
Solly ball
first one is
here.
just banter.
Solid ball.
I'm going to do 2. Joe1666. Why Shalotto is the best defender in the world, Ryan? Isn't he the
Wait,
best
say that.
defender in the world?
Ryan, you can answer this one. Ryan.
Why Shalotto?
Well,
I just said, why is Shalotto?
Well, Shalotto went a ding dang do, that's for sure. Well,
Corey's on today.
therefore not Scranit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, chuck it or scran it, Brighton.
I'd chock it if it's a Scalotto. No, but no, joking aside, sorry, Ollie Ball here. No, I think with Scalotto, mate, I'm not saying he's the worst defender ever, because I haven't seen every defender ever for Brighton, all right? But at the same time, in my lifetime anyway, of right backs that I could think of off the top of my head, he is probably the worst, because he couldn't control the football. The only reason people liked him was because he could run fast, and he's probably decent on FIFA. So yeah,
he wasn't even that quick.
yeah, he had a bit of pace. That's about it, and that's why people called him the Greyhound. He had a good little work ethic. I rated it, but that was about it. That's where my respect ended for him. That's where my respect really went. And
that was the banter.
Sorry, no.
That was the banter question. But the real question I was going to ask is from Harry James. And this was what I wanted to ask before I even said this, before I even saw these questions. So yeah, when we're fully fit, who do we drop from our current team? And this links into another question that someone said, or I saw it. It was saying about like who comes out for Webster, because obviously having Lallana, Trossard, and Biss, whilst you can count Trossard as like a centre attacking mid kind of, having them there. Obviously, we put Pascal Gross on the right, and then when Webster comes back, like, who are we dropping out of the team that played yesterday? Because yesterday's team was very good.
Yeah, so just quickly then. So the question was from Freddie BHA about who gets dropped for Webster, and also Harry.
Wait, is that Freddie
James,
guy who hates Gross?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
So
god, the one who gets dragged on the timeline every 2 minutes.
He's probably hoping you say Gross. To be fair, but yeah, Ryan, you kick us off, mate. You kick us off. Who comes out for Webster when he comes back in?
Let's have a think. What was our team?
Or who just gets dropped in general, I think. And
Or
So,
in general, yeah.
Let me just name the back 5 that I'd play then, because then I can remember who played. So I'd have Veltman right wing back. I'd put Veltman back in right wing back. Because I don't. But wait, are we including Lamptey in this? Yeah.
No,
just
without
Webster.
Lamptey in March.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Lamptey in March. Without Lamptey in March. Okay, so Veltman right wing back. Then it'd be Dunk. White, Dunk, Webster, and at the moment Moda. That would be my back 5. You can take out whoever you want. I wouldn't take out Gross. So then I'd have Gross,
That's the thing,
Lallana,
so in that midfield,
Bissouma.
that's what I'm saying.
I'll have Gross, Lallana,
He's doing it,
Bissouma.
Ben. Let him speak, Ben. He's doing it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on,
that sounds about
Sorry.
right, doesn't it?
Sorry, Ben.
Then you got Bissouma, Gross, Lallana. That's 8. Yeah. Then you got Mopé, Welbeck, Trossard.
No, that's too many.
Are we?
Too many, yeah.
Yeah, because you haven't done the.
If I put too many,
Trossard comes out for Pascal because you've obviously forgot keeper.
I see.
So you got the back
Okay.
5. Yeah.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a tough one. Like, it's a good headache to have.
It is a tough one. Yeah.
Water,
It is a tough one.
Let's have a think.
Because you've got Lallana and Biss or Pascal and Biss. Trossard's not coming out of that team for me.
Yeah, you couldn't take Lallana out. You couldn't take Bissouma out. You can't take that Gross out. God.
I know.
I mean, maybe,
I'm stumped, mate.
yeah. You are. I am.
I drop Trossard. I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Of course you would, mate. You hate him.
Do you know what?
I don't hate
I'll
him.
take
No, I don't
Moder
know.
out.
No, he's been
I'll take
really
Moder
good.
out. If I had to take any of them, I'll take Moder out.
But then who'd you play
And
left
I'll
wing
go-
back then?
Look
Right.
what you've done to
God
us,
knows.
Harry James, mate.
God knows.
Yeah, but who'd you play left wing back then? If you don't put Moder at left wing back, then who'd
Go
you play
back
left wing
four. Go back four and put another.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
No, because then you still got Webster
back?
out.
Yeah,
It
because
does
still have
work.
left side. Or play Veltman at left back. I don't hate
Yeah,
that.
Veltman.
Veltman at left back.
Yeah, then you goes
Yeah, I
right
don't
back.
mind him.
Wait. Oh yeah, he goes right back. Wait.
Ben White.
yeah.
But
Oh,
we're
Ben
missing
White-
out
Ben
on
White
three
left
centre
back.
backs we have.
Mate,
Yeah,
Graham Potter
Ben
is
White
laughing
fullback.
watching this right now
No.
because now he's thinking this is why I'm the manager.
Ben White does not go right back again.
Right, I'm going to lock my answer in. I'll drop. Yeah, so I'll have the same back line as Ryan. I'll have 5 at the back, Moder at left wing back, the usual Webster, Dunk, White centre halves, right back Veltman, a right wing back. Then I'd have Bissouma and Lallana as centre midfielders, and then I'll have Welbeck and Mope up front. But then there's
missed
no
that
width or anything.
I don't know if I'd take Leo out.
Oh no, keeper and a keeper
No, I
and a
think.
keeper, Sanchez.
Did you put Pascal Gross instead of Trossard?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Pascal Gross.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
So, yeah,
That's how I
don't know.
Interesting.
I can't even answer the question. It's just something that's just like be like rotation, basically.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
a
kind of
good
between
point.
Lallana and Pascal, isn't it? Those two are very similar. You can't really have both playing in midfield. I don't think.
that is true. That is true.
Maybe.
Okay. I'll retract my statement. I'm taking Gross
Shock.
out and Trossard in. Gross out, Trossard in, and then Gross
Think
come off
about
the
all the
bench.
chances, all the assists and chances he creates for us, mate. The stats don't lie.
Lallana, I'm joking.
I know, it's so tough.
I don't know. I've chucked a few different things.
It's a
out
really
there,
tough
but yeah.
question. Well done, Harry
It is a
James, for the
great
question.
question.
So,
Yeah, great question.
everyone listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, comment down your team
Yeah,
without
Really
Lamptey
good.
in March, like obviously the current people with the current injury we've got, because it is a tough one.
I can't even remember what our team
agreed.
was with them. I don't remember what we played.
Well, we didn't have Moder, that's for sure. We didn't have Moder, like even in the squad when Lamptey was playing. And then obviously-
Anyway, we're
But can I do
waffling,
what
Maz.
we
You
do?
take your next.
We'll
next.
Yeah. And just quickly as well, just for future episode, we should do our best 11 with everyone fit. That'll be a good one. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Right. Last question before we do the Chelsea preview, just because we know sort of time's going on. So last question, and let's pick the best one. Let's collectively best. Let's just collect who's got the best question. Blah, blah, blah,
a lot of them are transfers, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
People love. And we done the Welbeck contract last week, so thanks for watching last week's
Yeah.
podcast. Obviously, you
All right,
did
should we
Harry Thatcher. Jesus Christ.
Let's round it up. Let's just go into Chelsea preview. So thank you very much, everyone who gave us questions.
We skipped it.
Let's just
In a
sack
bit,
it all
lads.
off.
Oh, wait,
Right,
we'll do
Chelsea
transfers in like 1 second. One word. Two words.
I've got
Ivan
it.
Tony.
Go on
That's
then.
the transfers done.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
Fair
yeah.
point.
Ivan Toney.
Fair enough.
Sign Ivan Toney, Rico Henry. Bomb. Done. Right.
And
And then
what was his name?
Chelsea preview.
can't remember
Chelsea
his name.
preview. Chelsea. Going to be a very
Chelsea.
tough game. Going to be a
Go on.
tough game. Despite them obviously just losing to West Brom. And
So they are susceptible to a loss because obviously on the
play this
Tuchel, they battered thingy, didn't they?
Palace.
4-1.
Palace, yeah, they battered Palace,
Yeah.
4-1.
Shout
Yeah.
out
Unbelievable
Chelsea
scenes. Yeah, big up Chelsea for that one. But however, that's not good for us because we play them next. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, man, they got beaten by
but-
West Brom. I'm not being funny. We'll do them. We'll do them. The thing is,
Yeah, but West Brom,
Yes,
West Brom
right.
FC are 7, mate. West Brom FC are 7.
True.
Callum
No, but
Robinson,
look, this is
7,
what I
mate.
always say. Yeah, whenever you ask me for my predictions and opinions, I always say, apart from Man City, we can take on any team in the league. We can take on any team, and you can clip it. You can do whatever you want. We can play the football that will match or better the opposition, apart from probably Manchester City, because they are different class. But I'd like to think we can go into any game and think we have a good chance of doing something here. So I think against Chelsea, okay, you have the worry that they can punish you, but all the time Timo Werner's up front, I don't have too much concerns. And yeah, as long as we take our chances, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. If we can take our chances, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Do what we did to Newcastle.
My only
and
concern
Southampton,
is-
we'll be fine.
Yeah, my only concern is Chelsea haven't. I mean, since the last time they lost, apart from West Brom excluded, was Leicester in January. So I mean, they're on a pretty sick run of form, and like Ryan said, they can punish you.
Got them
You know,
ticking.
But we've also got the most
and
clean
obviously-
sheets in 2021, so they should be looking at that and thinking, "Cool, Brighton are going to be hard to break down because we've got a very solid defence." So
I don't know. I'm really, really, really not confident. I think Thomas Tuchel is doing bits for them. They've got so many technical players.
the German Graham Potter, mate.
Yeah, so many. Yeah, it kind of is. So many players that they've got are just so techy, just ballers all over the park, basically. I
was going to ask, like, who
paper.
are your biggest, like, who are you most worried about from the Chelsea team? Like, Ryan, start with you. Who are you most sort of worried about in terms of how they can punish us?
Havertz, because he played for us on my FIFA 17 career mode. But no, joking aside.
Nostalgia.
Joking aside, no, I don't know. To be fair, because they are quality. They are quality. So I'm worried about their whole sort of midfield and attack because their transition is much lovelier than ours. When we come forward, it is pretty painful to watch. That defence into attack transition is painful.
They're clinical as well,
and they are apart from Timo Werner, as I say. But overall they are
apart from
pretty
Timo Werner,
clinical. But we'll see. We'll see. As I say, we can take on any team in the league, and we always say, look at these teams, and you can think this and that, but very rarely this season I've been blown away by another team. Really, apart from a handful of games,
I don't think
we've been
battered
blown away
by anyone.
Leicester. That's the only time we got blown away.
Leicester,
Leicester.
So I honestly think we'll be okay. I'm gonna have Webster back.
Webster's back.
If he
Webster's
starts,
back.
maybe.
Also, do we risk him though? Do you want to risk him against Chelsea? Would you do that?
I don't think it's risking him because he's on the bench, wasn't he, yesterday? So I feel like he kind of
he probably
will get started.
Maybe he should be alright.
He's done the first stage of being on the bench, and then hopefully he'll be starting.
Also, one more thing.
I think they've got some very, very good players.
Yeah, I was going to say about the yellow card situation. Now, in my memory of all footballing life, I've always known it as 5 yellow cards is a suspension for your next game. Apparently, it's 10 now. Yeah, I don't remember talking about it because I completely forgot about it.
It's
reset
10. It for run. So it's 5.
Oh, it's the second half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I see that. Because
Dunn
Dunn got his 5th, didn't he, yesterday? And I was thinking, is he out now? But no, he's not. So there we go. But I didn't realise that. I've got to be honest.
So we don't have any fresh injury worries going into the Chelsea game, do we? We're all pretty set.
Probably Aaron Connolly's broken a toenail again or something. I guess I don't know.
Another broken window.
Broken his left phalange. Shout out.
Hey, come on, GCSE Come on.
He's broken his kidneys.
Right. Predictions. Ryan, you're always positive. We'll kick off with you, mate. Predictions for the Chelsea game.
Predictions. As I say, I think any team in the league we can go and dominate. Whether we'll score or not is another matter. But I think we'll score. I think it'll be a day where we'll turn up. Welbeck will be firing. I think 2-0. I don't think they'll score. I think we'll be okay. We're going to go beat them.
Look at that. Timo Werner disaster class pending.
Timo who?
No. If you want to set records straight and get back in form, Brighton are a team to play against. It's always like players end up breaking the duck and doing it against us. So Timo Werner hat-trick, 3-0 Chelsea.
Who? Oh, come on now. No, do you know what? We're not having Ben on the podcast when we beat Chelsea, all right? We're not having him on. Because, I'm not having this negativity around here.
I'm going to go for a draw. A draw? One all draw. 1-1 draw, yeah. 1-1 draw.
It's at the bridge, lads. It's at the bridge.
Yeah, 1-1 draw. Okay, 2-1 Chelsea then. No, 1-1. I'm sticking with it. 1-1. Right, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, absolute pleasure.
I'm saying 2-0, mate.
Oh, actually, what are we putting down? YouTube comments. Obviously, aside from doing your 11, your who goes in for Webster, etc. Also, comment down below. Ben is an egg. For his
comment below that Tuchel is a German Graham Potter. That's what I want to hear because he is.
Okay, yeah. Thomas Tuchel wears Graham Potter pajamas.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. There we go. Comment down below. Tuchel loves whatever Ben just said. Right, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for listening. Make sure you do like and subscribe. It does really mean a lot. It does help us. Does really help us. And of course, keep streaming it. Spotify and Apple. Keep streaming. We love you all, and we'll see you after the Chelsea game. Oh, and we got a guest as well. Big up Viper Sport.
Yeah, big up Viper.
Oh yeah,
Viper Sport in a bit.